Hey guys, it's Brent Patterson with Patterson Outdoors, here to bring you the final episode of our Struttin Wild series. Today, before we even get started, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for being the provider that He is. I mean, He provided so much fun for us, so much joy, so much blessings. It was unreal, the amount of turkeys we had this year. And I know some of it was from, we had a wet winter, so the farmers couldn't plant the way they normally would. So our fields this year they were just right. And like I said, the turkeys were there. And even with that, I mean, at first we were having a little bit of trouble. And I think it was just because we weren't prepared for the blessing we were receiving. I mean, we'd never seen a year like this, and so it took us a little while to get our feet out under us. But once we got going, it really took off. And at this time, Trevor and Chris, they're tagged out, and we've his buddy Jimmy has got one. Our buddy Jacob has got a turkey this time, and now we're down to like 3 days left. And there was one turkey in particular that we've been watching all year, really. We've never really hunted him that hard. My brother hunted him for a little bit, and once some things changed, some other turkeys in other places, and so he ends up abandoning this turkey and ends up tagging out somewhere else. So now it's down to me with one tag left, and this turkey, for some reason, he made it almost through the season. But to me, and I think to a lot of us, this was the one I was really wanting to go after. If I could, on my last tag, I was thinking if I could get one, maybe it'd probably be this one, because he was a good-looking bird, and I thought he was an older bird at the time too. So I think it was Thursday afternoon after I got home. That Saturday it ended. This Thursday afternoon I get home and I said, I'm gonna ride around and check my spot, see what I can find, And so I ride around a couple times, and near dark I see a turkey in this particular spot where I was trying to catch this bird, because he hung out in a little head between two fields. And so if he was on the left side, I didn't really want to hunt him on the left side in the left field, because my cousin lived there and they were expecting a child, and I just didn't really feel good about that side of the field. But I knew if I could ever catch him on the right side of his head, I thought for one I'd have a better shot, and for two, I'd be away from my cousin's place enough. I'd feel good about it. And so I go by, I see a turkey out here, and it's so late, and I didn't bring my binoculars, I didn't have my camera, I was just riding through. And so I knew it was a turkey. I didn't know if it was a tom. I mean, it wasn't blowed up or anything. But I said, I don't really want to kill any of the other toms anyway, so I think I'll take a shot at this tomorrow morning. Just a shot in the dark. Maybe it's him, or I don't know. We'll find out, in the morning. So, I go home and, Trevor's tagged out. I was hoping he'd go with me, but I didn't know. Especially when I told him, I don't know if this is the bird or not. I said, I know there's a bird there. I said, if it's a hen, he still may be there somewhere. So he said, no, I'm going. So that was that. We got a good night's sleep, and early the next morning, we get in there. We probably get in there around probably close to 5, because I was wanting to get in and get set up, because I didn't really know what I was going to get at. So we end up in the bend of this field, and it's a big field. The little spot where we set up was in a bend and to our right was the small section of that big field. And then when we set up in the bend, once you got past where I was, to the left, the field went back. I mean, to the bigger section of field, and so we were basically set up on this point where we could see, mainly the small section of field, but I could see a little bit to my left. So we're looking east, and we're just, we're waiting to find out what God's gonna bring, And so we sit there. I mean, we would probably just sit down maybe 3 minutes. We had not even got settled in good, and this turkey gobbles behind us. I mean, close behind us, so close. I was like, I don't know about this, because he was like at my 5 o'clock. I mean, it didn't sound like he was 75 yards in there. I mean, every time he gobbled, it would just seem like it was moving the limbs. I mean, we were sitting there. I was like a little kid almost, just I guess nervous anticipation. And Trevor, once in a while we'd look over and just sort of, giggle under our hand, because this Tom just gobbled from first thing in the morning to probably about 6:30-ish. He was just constantly gobbling every minute or so. And it was just surreal for us. I mean, it felt like we were the only people on the earth. It was just us and him at that time. And like I said, it was still dark. And we just, he reminded me that the Bible verse, Psalms 41:10, I think. Be still and know that I am God. That's what we were doing. We were just being still and watching the Lord work His magic. I mean, it was unbelievable. But we sit there, like I said, till about 6:30, trying not to move a muscle, because we're sitting east, the sun's coming up, and our shadow's just forecasting behind us, and this bird, is still gobbling. So I'm thinking we must be good. If not, he probably would have shut up by now. So now we just need to keep doing what we're doing. And by that time we hear a hen. I hear at least one hen to my right, probably at my 3 o'clock, not far off the edge of that little field. And I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. But the other field's not far through the woods, so I was thinking maybe she'll fly down in this little section and not to this other field further over. And maybe 3 or 4 minutes go by, 2 hens fly down right in this little corner. And I'm thinking, that's a good thing, that's a good sign. So we sit there and all this time he's still gobbling. And so he gets quiet, and I think I hear something fly down behind me. And he goes from my 5 o'clock, I hear whatever it is back now, he's probably to my 7 o'clock. And now he's at the edge of where the wood line meets the field. And I can't see him, because there's too much brush. But from what I hear, I'm thinking, this bird he's back here. And we're in this bin, and they're here, and he's here. We're looking pretty good. And so at this point, I'm thinking, don't screw this up, keep doing what you're doing. And at the time, I was praying really that, I didn't screw this thing up. And Trevor, he's just being his calm self over there. I don't know how he was feeling at the time, but I was sort of, getting a little antsy. And so this bird comes out, and I hear him gobble on the ground. Still can't see him, but I know he's not far back there. And he starts moving, I guess, in my direction, because at some point I can see enough to see that he's strutting back here. And I'm thinking, he's coming this way. I don't know if he's going to skirt us out to where I can't shoot, but I feel like he's coming this way. And we probably wait there another 5 minutes. And here he comes. He's strutting, and he comes out of strut, and he's moving. And about the time he comes out of strut, he gets in my range. And at that time, I don't know, instincts kick in, I guess. And the 870, I just pull up, and it's over. It's over like that. Just that quick.
I did too.
I was like, we just can't move. We can't move.
I know.
I didn't know I had you covered back there and didn't know it.
I know. Dang, I didn't think he was ever going to fly down.
When I was thinking he would fly down right there.
I knew he was about to.
And I was hoping he wasn't coming this way, and I heard something go left, and I was like, that's probably him.
Yeah. That is a nice deer on that bird.
Man, I'm so tense, I can't hardly freaking stand myself right now.
I've been freaking out all morning.
He was right there.
Yeah.
I bet he went 30 feet from us at
He
one
was
time.
close.
And I was like, just don't move a muscle. I had no idea I had a couple of heels hiding me.
But it'd been a long season, and this was the bird I was wanting, and I was just so thrilled at the time. Because I made, for one, I made a good shot, which was, saying something for me, because I had a rough year myself. So, my confidence was down, but I always had, faith and trust that, the Lord would provide. And he did it again. He ended the season on a good note. But I will tell you, this turkey fooled me. I thought he was older. And sometimes they say you can't judge them off their spurs. But this bird had, he looked like a 2-year-old. which sort of, you know, sort of hurt my feelings for one because I misjudged. But, you know, he was the one I was looking for, and I was so blessed to get him. It was an amazing hunt. And it was just, you know, the thing about it is we didn't do anything. We didn't make one call. We didn't put any decoys out. We did like that verse. We were still and trusted in the Lord. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes a lot of times. You don't have to be the best hunter. We were in the right spot. God put us in the right spot, and He moved, and we were there. And it was incredible. I mean, it was awesome. Just the moments I get with my son, you know, or my daughter, anytime I spend with them, is, you know, awesome to me. But to have an experience like that on top, it's just icing on the cake. And to know, you know, the Lord of all is, you know, just blessing us every day. You know, sometimes we take for granted. It's you know, it's a reminder that you gotta, you know, give Him glory for what He does in your life, good or bad. Sometimes He brings good. Sometimes He brings, you know, sometimes He allows the bad things to glory, you know, to move you in the right direction, you know, for glory for Him. But that's how we wrapped up the season. That was the last bird of the year. And it was, like I said, it was a crazy time. Best season ever. So I just want to thank God again, and thank you for watching. And check us on the next one. It won't be long. Hopefully we'll have some good dove footage here shortly.
That's the bird I was after. You know what I mean? That's the bird a bunch of people was after.